Hello there, you're with JC Pride on Pride People. Today I have a special guest who will introduce himself momentarily and tell us a bit about himself. Go.
I introduce myself. I'm Orion. I'm head of Orion Performance Coaching. Me and Jesse first met. I was his trainer getting him ready for a photo shoot. And yeah, that's me.
How was it working with me in that photo shoot? Like, let us be honest, I'm a little bit of a prick. How'd you deal with that?
No, I feel like that's your personality though, you know what I mean? That's a part of your personality and that makes who you are, you know? We worked together for a long time, almost 12 months. And, you know, obviously got to know you and we became friends as well. And that's just you, that's just your personality. I've got nothing against it.
Orion actually told me something that I really loved hearing. He's like, somehow you managed to get the biggest asshole on the planet, but the nicest guy in the world at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I'm really good at that actually. That's a great compliment.
It cancels itself out almost.
And so I basically wanna, because there's a lot, I did tell you, just to mold me, and like, so there's a lot that went into it that I wasn't aware of. Can you maybe give a brief overview of that?
Well, I think it kind of comes back down to one of the reasons why you really liked my training is that I trained you like anyone else, right? I didn't train you like as if you had a disability. I pushed you just as hard, probably even harder at some points as well because you're a stubborn bitch. But in terms of the actual, you know, physiologically what I was doing with you, there was no real difference. There was no real difference. Obviously we had to get a little bit smarter with, you know, our output because, you know, we got higher fatigue. We can't make you doing like all these other styles of like cardio, but same thing, just controlling your input, controlling your output, you know, trying to encourage you to do more steps. And yeah, we were able to achieve something really, really crazy. It was actually awesome.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
Orion actually has an uncle with a disability and he grew up very close with him, and that was something that was very apparent to me in the get-go. He just made me feel like a normal person, which made me just feel involved and ready to just commit. So that was definitely helpful. Thank you for that.
That's all right.
But yes, in terms of, because actually what wasn't known is I went through a few moves there and doing that, and then I hurt my foot, and then I had to wear a moon boot, and then I was hurt my shoulder, and then I couldn't walk on. I was on the treadmill with one arm with the moon boot just hobbling along. I'm like, just two more weeks. How would you see, because obviously you are trained and you've done this yourself, so I guess maybe give us some insight as to how taxing that process is.
Well, there's so many factors that go into that, you know, like how long you're cutting for, how low your body fat gets, how low your calories can potentially get as well. But that generally, my methodology is always trying to help people lose weight or fat while keeping their calories as high as possible. Like we never dropped anywhere near below 2,000 calories.
Yeah.
But being at a lower body fat percentage, especially if you get really, really lean, once again, physiologically, there's going to be some taxing benefits there because everyone has like a different level of body fat that they find like their body personally is going to be more comfortable at. Some people are leaner, some people are not. So in terms of getting you to a level of body fat that obviously looked great, but we weren't going to sustain it. It was for a photo shoot. It wasn't necessarily a sustainable look. You know, you're going to get fatigue, and you already have like bad fatigue as well. So you're obviously going to get fatigue, you know, stuff like your sex drive can go down, your energy levels can go down.
Lucky for me, I don't have a sex drive.
I went through the roof now. And you know, like your recovery can be down as well, so you got to be careful as well. When you start getting really lean, like, you know, the fat between your joints is obviously smaller as well, so that creates
fat between your joints.
Yeah, of course, and that can create a little bit less like stability, which can potentially lead to injuries as well, so you gotta be careful. But with the right plan and the right guidance, obviously like you had me, you know, you're gonna mitigate those things and you're gonna be all right. But But yeah, it really depends on how, like I said, it depends on a lot of factors. How lean did you get, how long you've been doing it, and how low your calories are probably the three main things that affect it.
Okay, so to finish up my questions relating back to myself, and then we'll flip over and Orion can tell us what he's doing in life. I just will ask if you just to sum up working with me with a few words or something.
No, I'm just kidding.
That would be accurate as hell.
I think it's just like a working testament that, especially in my, not calling anyone out, but there's a lot of people that get into fitness that don't stick with fitness, right? Or they make every excuse under the sun as to why they can't achieve X, Y, and Z, right? But when you come to me and you have you have more excuses than anyone could to be able to not achieve things or not go into the gym, but didn't hold you back. I trained you just as hard, you trained just as hard, you stuck to the diet, and you got results despite having, fatigue and a disability and all these factors. So in summary, it's just like, it really shows how there's no excuses. And this could get quite deep, but people make excuses all the time, being like, oh, I can't achieve this because my work, or because of, my lifestyle, or like I got kids, or I got this, or I got that. That is really just a comfort to no one but yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
if you really want to achieve something, you'll achieve it, right? You have all this, you could flip the script and people could listen and you like, oh, I've always wanted to get lean and see my abs, but I'm recovered from a stroke, I have high fatigue. But no, you didn't use that excuse.
It's like the reality is a lot of people do use excuses, but also it is Orion's job to get you fit, but it's also your job to do what he freaking says. So
Absolutely.
You've got to be an honest person. I'm sorry, it's not his job to do everything and change you and fix all your lies and your mindsets in your head and get you on the right track. You've got to own your shit.
That's perfectly true. It's 100% right. So a lot of people sometimes purchase a personal trainer and think that they're purchasing results.
Yeah.
Like you purchase, like, no. You're coming to me and I'm going to give you the best blueprint of how to get there in the easiest way, and you don't know how to get there, and I'm going to help you get there. But you still have to work for it.
Yeah.
You're not like, oh, here's the money. I'm like, oh, here's your six pack.
That's what a lot of people,
yeah.
They don't understand the concept of you work for the life you want.
And a lot of it's like, when you train with me, that's only 1 to 5% of that entire physique that we saw, right? It's my job to be able to make it easy for you to be able to develop some habits that's to you in your life to be able to achieve that. Because you come to the gym, you see me for an hour, there's 24 hours in the day, right? I can't make you do your steps. I can't make you sleep on time. I can't make you eat the right food. I can't make you do all these things. I can just encourage you, support you, and set it up in a way that's gonna work for you. But I can't be spoon feeding you. I can't be walking you. So that's a lot of people just like purchase a PT, like he didn't get me results. I'm like, well, did you do the sessions?
Yeah, that's the thing, but that comes down to honesty, and this is not honesty with others, it's honesty in terms of accountability. Don't blame anyone when you yourself are picking the shovel or the spade or whatever you dig with and just moving the dirt yourself. Like, shut up, get in there, or just fuck off. I'm sorry. Because the reality is you're actually making his job much harder by and wasting your own money and time is just stupid and redundant in my opinion. Anyway, over to moving on to complaining about the wieners and the whiners. So tell us what you're doing now with yourself, Orion.
Well, obviously I'm head of Orion Performance Coaching. I have a couple of trainers that work for me and under me as well. I'm currently actually pulling away from face-to-face PT, which I've been doing for 5 years. I've been doing it since I was 19 years old, so that's exciting, shifting that. But it doesn't mean I'm obviously going to be not working with people to achieve their goals, but my, I guess, now is more scaling Orion Performance Coaching to be able to bring on more trainers and service more people to be able to make a bigger impact, because I personally can only work with so many people in a week, but you know, definitely through the online space as well, and by having more trainers, I can now service a much larger range of people and all around the world as well, which is crazy. So at the moment, taking a step back from working with people in person, face to face, and in growing Orion Performance Coaching to be able to help and service more and more people. So that's where I am at the moment, yeah.
And if anyone wants to utilize your services, where would they find you?
Well, I mean, you can find me on my website, obviously orionperformancecoaching.com, or you on my social media, either me, Orion, or Orion Performance Coaching on Instagram. But yeah, hit me up.
And we will of course add a link to any of his platforms on this video, so you can click and find it there. Okay, well that is conclusion for Pipe People Part 1, and I will see you when I see you. Ciao. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share my beautiful story, and please stay tuned because it gets interesting.